what position group is going to be most challenged this Sunday when we play Green Bay? Well, look, just because Green Bay has struggled doesn't mean we're going to sit here and celebrate and act like this is our opportunity and this is who they are. And we did that whole thing with Cincinnati and it didn't work out. Teams rebound. People just can't write off Green Bay. Okay, we're going into Lambeau. Look at their record there for the past 3 years, the past 5 years, the past 10 years, the past 15 years. Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. He might not look as good this year, but boy, do we have a way sometimes of making a quarterback look really good. We almost seem like the answer to other teams' slumps at times. So we have to take this game very seriously. Like, no joke about it. We can't just sit there and assume anything is going to be given to us. So where's the biggest threat? Aaron Rodgers, the problem he has is that he doesn't have proven established receivers. Now, Reggie Cobb might put the fear into anybody, but he did have, I think, 96 yards, almost a 100-yard game. So Aaron Rodgers manages to find and make a receiver look good or put up decent stats. Now, I'm not worried about our cornerbacks. Obviously, they're going to be able to cover Green Bay's receivers. Even Christian Watson, who runs a 4.3, who's 6'4". I know we all loved him in the draft, but if you look at his numbers, he hasn't put it together yet because I don't care how big and fast you are. If you can't run the routes and you're not connected with your quarterback, you're not going to scare anybody. And that takes time. So it doesn't matter because whoever Sauce Gardner and Reed cover, they're going to take seriously. They're not underestimating anybody. These guys take a lot of pride in being dominant. So I'm not worried about a deep attack or a passing attack to wide receivers. I don't think that's something that Jet fans, I think, if anything, will be more comfortable in that area than anything else. The group I'm worried about is our safeties. And here's why. The first 3 games of the year, the safety play was awful. It was horrible. We were ready to throw LaMarcus Joyner into the, what is it, the fires and flames of Mordor. And we were like completely disappointed with Whitehead. Then we play Pittsburgh and suddenly Joyner has the game of the career game of his life. You know, Whitehead looks better and everything seems great again. Then Miami, but no big mistakes, no mistakes made by those guys. Decent play. And we're thinking, okay, that problem is behind us. But when you think about it, it's really not. And here's why. Part of the reason our safety struggle in those first 3 games was we played teams with incredibly strong running games. We played teams that pound the ball, that are known for it. Baltimore, Cleveland with Chubb. Remember how that went? He was like walking on us at the end of the game. And then we played Cincinnati, who was a very good running back, right? Mixing in, a good running attack. Then we play Pittsburgh, who has been awful this year at running the ball. Yeah, they have a good running back, but he's been averaging 3.5 yards a carry or less because their offensive line is not there, whatever. But they're having an awful year. Miami is ran on us anyway, in spite of the fact that they haven't had, and they don't have the most threatening running game. I'm sure they're working on turning that around based on who their head coach is and the system they're putting in place. But the reality is the safety's job becomes a lot harder when you're playing against a very scary running team, like a running team that could hurt you with the run, that threatens you with the run, because that puts more on the shoulders and more on the back of the safeties. Because the last couple of games, they could really focus on being in their spot in the zone, right? Or if it's man-to-man and they're helping out on coverage, whatever they're doing, they're not as likely to jump. They're not as jumpy to defend the run because our defensive line and our linebackers can handle it. But when we're playing a team that's effectively running the ball, that's really strong up front and effectively running the ball, that's where our safeties have to make a lot more decisions. That's when if they bite a step in because they think it's going to be a run and they're thinking about run, they can get beat in the passing game. So this is going to be a test for them. I'm not saying they can't do it because Green Bay, they have good running backs. And they're a well-coached team. And they put up a lot of points, and they've been a really good offense. And we have to understand that our safeties are going to have to pay attention to and worry about the run and the screen and all those kind of things, especially if Rodgers can't hit his receivers and doesn't have them. Green Bay's going to get creative on how they get first downs and how they move the ball. So we need our safeties to step up, be decisive, and make the right decisions. It's not only on them, it's on our coaching staff too. It's on our defensive coordinator. Jeff Ulbrich has to call the right plays. And as always, our defensive line has to continue on last week's momentum and pressure the quarterback, penetrate the backfield, make it difficult for them to do anything right with our first line of defense. And that helps everybody. Anyway, Green Bay's not going to be easy. Do we have a chance to win? Of course we have a chance to win. We're the Jets.